Hello, one and all. This is my review of My Hero Academia, Chapter 361, Abnormal Happenings. And that is a fairly accurate title, given this page may be the most horrifying and unnerving thing we've seen across this entire freaking series. Seriously, Shigaraki's response to, "Oh, you've never had any friends," is to go on a rant about how much his dog used to like going for walks. Sweet, merciful God above, there is so much wrong with that. There is so overwhelmingly much wrong with that. And even Lemillion just, left completely and utterly shaken by it. All he can do is say, sorry, man. I guess I touched a nerve there. Which, yeah, that's about right. That sounds about right. And really, though, this line here just completely threw me for a loop. Because, when he started saying, I have friends, I figured he'd say, me and Spinner like to play video games, or me and Davi like to cook together, and me and Toga like to talk about blood together, for him to talk about the League of Villains, his new friends. But that's not who's speaking here. This is not Shigaraki speaking, and it's not All for One either. It's Tenko Shimura, the child who became Shigaraki. He's found a way to basically break through and, make his voice heard for the first time in quite a while, and this is a very good sign, because even though Shigaraki has completely and utterly lost it, and has even kind of, been dissolved in the soup that is All for One, Tenko Shimura is still there. He still, has some control over this body, and that can mean some really fun things for this final fight. We could have Tenko Shimura break through. Probably not here with Lemillion, but when Deku shows up, he'll be able to say the right words that convince Tenko and Shimura, hey, you're right, anybody can be a hero, and he'll step up, and the final fight will be Deku and Tenko Shimura fighting All for One inside the Quark Realm. Oh, that'd be amazing. It'd be so freaking amazing. Of course, there's still to be, a whole lot of fighting beforehand. And the next step of this fight is going to be Suneater and Najir teaming up to hit Shigaraki with, this thing. Yes, this thing right here. It is. I don't really know what to make of it. All I can really say is I think Suneater had to eat an entire zoo to produce this monstrosity. I mean, seriously, just look at the list of foods we can see. Locust, red sea urchin, red something, fowl, soft-shell turtle, green sea turtle. There's 2 freaking turtles here. Peanuts, Spino, dragon fruit, zebra, tarantula, which, yeah, at first I thought that was, 2 different animals. He ate a zebra and a tarantula, but apparently a zebra tarantula is one thing. And I look it up, but I really, truly do not want to see what it is. Spider crab, American alligator. There are so many foods that went into producing this horrific mega cannon that he's going to use to, hopefully do some damage to Shigaraki. Probably not a lot of damage, but hopefully, something. I mean, it would really be great if Suneater, the no-name character, the one everyone forgets about, the one that is absolutely zero self-confidence, is able to, basically step it up right here and do something, is actually able to deliver some real damage to Shigaraki. And if he can't, I mean, there is, a plan B, as horrifying as it might sound. I mean, he's able to, basically take on the traits of any plant and animal that he eats, and, Shigaraki is basically an animal, while his main body might be, really indestructible. His, weird finger things are not, and there are, plenty of them around the battlefield. So, maybe if this plan fails, Suneater can just nibble on some of Shigaraki's fingers, num 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 num, and then he'll have all the powers of Shigaraki. I mean, it would almost certainly kill him, but it would be an amazing way to go out. Unlikely, but I would really like to see that. And honestly, I'm just really hoping that Suneater gets the girl, that he gets Najir. Because, when the big 3 first announced, it seemed like, oh, Lemillion and Najir, they're going to be a couple, no doubt about it. And Suneater, he's just going to be, quietly in the background. He's the side character. He's the one that doesn't really get the attention, the focus, or anything like that. But this flashback definitely changed my opinion here. I mean, he went out of his way to talk to Najir, even though he was completely and utterly terrified of, any sort of talking with anybody. It looks like Lemillion may have given him, the support, the push to actually do it, but still, he was the one that approached her. He was the one that talked to her, and that's something she really needed because everyone assumed that because her quirk was so powerful that she was stuck up, arrogant, believing that she was better than everyone else around her, but she really wasn't. She was just a girl looking for some friends, and Suneater gave her that friend. Good for him! So yeah, my prediction for this fight is that he's going to launch his big, ultimate, powerful cannon next chapter, and it's probably not going to do all that much damage against Shigaraki, but then he's going to grab one of Shigaraki's fingers off the ground, eat it, gain insane power for, a few minutes before it starts to kill him, and then Deku will show up and save the day. Huzzah! Leaving Suneater to, marry Najir and live happily ever after. Probably not. Honestly, I think there's a fairly good chance Suneater could die in this fight. And Lemillion and Najir, they all have some pretty big death flags right now. Especially because when the big three were first introduced in this fight, Suneater basically said, all I want to do was go out and graduate, which... such a death flag. Such a freaking death flag. Seriously. But please let me know what you think about all this down below. For one thing, where exactly did Suneater get all of these animals? I mean, like I said, there are a lot of freaking animals here. There are 2 separate variations of turtles. Tarantulas, sea urchins, locusts, peanuts. These are not the kind of things you can find, just at the supermarket. Especially because they're kinda sorta living in the middle of an apocalypse, so... yeah, rare food delicacies are gonna be, even more rare than normal. That's actually quite curious. Also, how quickly did you need to eat all of this? How, long does, let's say, Locust stay in his body for? Did he have to eat all this in, one big, giant 12-course meal? Or has this been building up over the last couple days? I'm actually really curious about that one. Do you think his big cannon is going to actually be able to do anything against Shigaraki? And if not, what's his next step? Do you think that actually eating a finger of Shigaraki would do anything to him? I mean, normally I'd say no, because then, his quirk would just be insanely overpowered. He'd basically be, I guess, a variation of Toga, where he could gain quirks by, basically eating people, but in this case, I think it'd be different, because Shigaraki is technically not even really human anymore. He's undergone plenty of modifications over and over again, which resulted in him being able to, create this mass of fingers that have teeth made up of other fingers, and tongues made up of fingers, which, yeah, terrifying. All overwhelmingly terrifying, but if Suneater is able to replicate that just for, a few brief moments, I think it would align fairly well with his quirk, and he could do something, really tremendous. Buy some more time for Deku. Hopefully. But please let me know what you think about all this down below. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and until then, peace!